This is from Baidu's earnings call on Baidu's robotaxi business in China. Baidu now claims cumulative autonomous rides of 6 million with customers. Baidu is now moving towards achieving unit economics break-even for Apollo Go. To make this happen, our strategy is to reach break-even unit economics in key regions and then replicate the success in other regions. Baidu is now offering their autonomous technology via licensing to other China OEMs as well. There are a few problems with Baidu here. For example, when you call a robotaxi, you actually get a robotaxi with a person driving the vehicle or monitoring the vehicle. For her to get an actual robotaxi without anyone inside the vehicle, it basically took 4 hours. She had to go to a specific location where you can get a robotaxi without anyone inside. So she called another one, and here's another person in the robotaxi. And here's my favorite part.
Fully self-driving robotaxis by the end of this year.
But not everyone can ride. A notice pops up and warns no young children, pregnant women, elderly, the infirm, or anyone with a bad heart.
Gary Black updated his positives and negatives for Tesla's stock. Number one, EV adoption remains good. Number two, Elon Musk's compensation package passes. He sees that as a positive, not a negative. Interest rates going down. Number four, higher FSD take rates and a licensing deal potentially happening this year, maybe. Next generation vehicle launching in 2026. So he doesn't think it's coming next year. But I think he's referring to the actual next generation vehicle, not the vehicle that's in between the platforms. He still thinks Optimus production begins in 2026. As for negatives, Q2 and 2024 delivery estimates are too high. The price war in China, Model Y inventories are at all-time highs. Year-over-year auto revenue growth is declining. There is a PE re-rating risk with negative growth, and there's also election risk. Gary's price target is $200 for Tesla's stock. I think he's missing some important ones. Increased pace of FSD updates, and these updates seem to be significant. The next update could be fairly significant based on what Elon Musk is saying, but we really need to see it and try it ourselves. But Elon did say the intervention rate is going to go down by 5 to 10 times. That's a big deal. I would definitely put it on this list. Tesla, on the other hand, continues to make great strides in FSD and autonomous driving, but earnings estimates keep falling because of price cuts, and now ironically falling delivery estimates. Usually price cuts increase volumes. The next major catalyst is the June 13th annual meeting, where Elon's 2018 compensation package is likely again to be overwhelmingly approved by shareholders, which should eliminate any possibility of Elon leaving. Hugely positive. I personally think even if Elon's compensation package does not get approved, I don't think Elon would just completely leave Tesla. Would he spend less time at Tesla? Yeah. So I definitely don't see it as a positive for the stock in the long term if he doesn't get his compensation package reapproved. Tesla chair Robin Denholm to the Financial Times said, "We are very early days of the campaign and we will be meeting with shareholders all the way through to the day of the vote. The vote is pretty important for us as a company, but I also think it's important for corporate America as well. Every shareholder that I've ever talked to says that Elon's compensation plan worked. They actually appreciate the fact that it drove a lot of the shareholder value. The plan was originally seen as impossible, ludicrous, overly ambitious." Is there serious concern at Tesla that the vote will fail? Sawyer is strongly downplaying this. It's more just about being proactive in getting as much support as possible as Tesla recognizes this is an important vote. No. If that was the case, we would have seen this from the very beginning, the moment the voting has started. Instead, what we are seeing, people have been voting. Now Tesla has some good insight into what is happening and what is likely to happen, and what we are seeing makes them do this: campaign for more votes, because the outcome is not certain. So if you haven't voted yet, make sure to vote, because the final outcome could be pretty close. I think if a good portion of retail Tesla stock investors vote, I think the vote will pass. But if we don't, then I don't think it will pass. When asked about Musk's plans should he lose, Denholm said, there's always a risk, but he's not holding a gun to anybody's head. He hasn't said one way or another, quite frankly. And do I believe he's committed to Tesla? Absolutely. But if Elon doesn't get this vote passed, I don't know if that commitment would remain. I thought this comment was quite interesting from Denholm here. The court ruled that Tesla's board had failed to act in shareholders' interest, criticizing directors as supine servants of an overweening master, and Denholm as having a lackadaisical approach to her oversight obligations. But she calls those findings as absolute BS and crap. I like this. She also says ensuring Musk is paid in full was essential to keep him motivated and reward him for generating returns of more than 1,000% in 5 years. And pay very close attention to this. This is very crucial, and it, I think, at least partially, definitely explains why the board is doing what it's doing. On the new pay vote, a simple majority must be in favor, excluding those owned by Musk, obviously, and his brother Kimball. However, the path to reincorporate in Texas is steeper, requiring a majority of all shares outstanding, those not cast, are counted as a no. It's like Mount Everest. It's a huge hill to climb because getting 50% of the shareholders to vote, let alone what they vote for, is quite tough. Now, some people will say, oh, it's no big deal. I don't need to vote because probably Elon is going to get his compensation package. He's not leaving Tesla because of that. And if we don't change our incorporation location from Delaware to Texas, no big deal. But not having incorporation location moved from Delaware to Texas would also be a big failure for the vote, because then let's say the board designs a new compensation package for Elon. Immediately, automatically, there's going to be another lawsuit, and the outcome of that lawsuit will be uncertain because we know what Delaware already thinks about Elon Musk. So even if Elon gets a new compensation package, and let's say this one is only about voting control, increasing his control of Tesla, not increasing his economics. The main reason for creating a compensation package is to increase someone's motivation. But if you think that you can achieve all of the targets set out in the compensation plan, but you're not certain if you would actually get it, would it really increase Elon's motivation? And check this out. James is now concerned maybe the vote is not going to really pass. Add on top of this challenge the fact that some will vote against. For example, we know about Leo Cogman. Maybe the risk of not having the votes is higher than I thought. What is plan B if this fails?